Hi, I'm Daniela and this is Jocelyn. Thanks for coming back to our channel.
In our last video, we talked about how to cope with infertility. And in this video, we're going to look at another very important aspect of fertility, which is boosting egg quality. Over the last few years, we've learned that egg quality sets a very strong foundation for a healthy pregnancy.
Poor egg quality can lead to a failure to get pregnant or inability to stay pregnant.
Although you have a set number of eggs when you're born, you can improve the quality of those eggs by changing certain behaviors or things in your environment. And that's what we're going to look at more today.
Something to take note of is there is no time to waste when improving your egg quality. It's better to start sooner rather than later because it can take 2 to 4 months before you start to see results.
The good news is there are lots of different ways to improve your egg quality. And in this video, we're going to look at 3 different ways that you can start right away.
The first thing we want to think about is improving our mitochondrial function. Thinking back to high school biology, you can remember that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cells. The mitochondria is what gives your egg cells energy to do the job that they need to do.
So in essence, mitochondria is in very high demand when you're trying to get pregnant. Things we can do to promote healthy mitochondrial function is to use supplements and vitamins. Things that we found are helpful are things like niacin, magnesium, iron, and CoQ10.
You can also incorporate some foods into your diet like wild caught fish like salmon, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed beef, and dark leafy greens.
Going along with foods that help healthy mitochondrial function, foods like sugar, alcohol, fried foods, and processed foods actually do mitochondrial damage, which can cause premature aging to your cells, or your eggs.
They're cells, so you're not wrong. Moving on to number 2. This one seems really simple and easy, but actually sleep is very important to a healthy pregnancy.
This is because of melatonin levels, which rise when you're sleeping.
Melatonin acts in several specific ways to help the reproductive cycle. It acts as an antioxidant, improving quality inside the egg cell. It acts as a signaling molecule to the brain, controlling reproductive hormones. And melatonin even acts inside the uterus to protect the embryo and improve implantation.
Sometimes putting stipulations on sleep can be really stressful, making sleep even harder. But some general hard fast rules are to fall asleep before 11 and to try to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night.
You want to wake up feeling rested. The last tip for boosting your egg quality is cleaning up your environment and staying away from things like endocrine disruptors.
Although there's a lot that goes into the endocrine system, it's important to understand that an endocrine disruptor is something that you put into your body that then affects how your hormones work. The unfortunate truth in the matter is that there are endocrine disruptors all around us, from the things we eat, how our food is packaged, what we put on our skin. It's nearly impossible to avoid these things entirely.
Learning about these harmful chemicals, it can be really easy to get overwhelmed and get deep in a rabbit hole pretty quickly.
Although it's obviously clear we can't cut everything out and there are going to be things outside of our control, we found an important first step to trying to avoid endocrine disruptors was just limiting the amount that we brought into the house so that this way we could cut back on what we were exposed to. A few examples of endocrine disruptors to look out for are things like BPAs, which can be found in plastics, like food containers or water bottles or packaging, phthalates, which can be found in fragrances and cosmetics, as well as food packaging and plastics. Dioxins are byproducts in herbicide production and paper bleaching. When you think paper bleaching, you think of like feminine care products like pads and tampons. PFAs are another big one to look out for, which can be found in things like nonstick cookware and microwavable popcorn bags, as well as certain personal care products.
There are so many more examples of endocrine disruptors out there, so it's good to go ahead and do some research.
It's important to be your own advocate, but remember, eliminating toxins from your life is pretty much a lifelong journey, and it's filled with lots of baby steps. So Don't beat yourself up too much. Being aware is a huge first step.
Every step makes a difference. There are some resources and things we've used along the way to help us learn how to make healthy swaps. One thing we've done is use the Think Dirty app on our phones. So when we're out shopping for personal care products, we can scan the products and it can give us a list of harmful chemicals and endocrine disruptors that may or may not be in the products. Of course, this isn't the end all be all, but it's a great place to start. Another place where we've learned a lot of information is watching the HBO series called Not So Pretty.
Kiki Palmer is the narrator, just throwing that out there.
I also follow some clean living groups on Facebook. They're usually really smart with ingredients and helpful at sharing healthy swaps. And sometimes if I'm not sure if a product is actually safe, I may post in the group and I get a lot of responses oftentimes.
Don't worry, we're not just going to leave you hanging with a few resources. We're going to share some easy swaps that we've done that you can even start right away.
You can eliminate plastic storage containers and use glass food storage containers and water bottles.
We've grown our collection over time. A complete overhaul was definitely not in the budget, but finding things on sale here and there, we've grown a pretty nice collection and just slowly tossed out what we were done with. Another quick swap is using fresh and frozen veggies instead of canned veggies.
You can also go towards natural personal care products without fragrance or perfume.
This one's a hard one, especially for me. Although reading labels can be really confusing, it is super important, especially because a lot of products claiming to be natural actually aren't or have other chemicals in them that are not clean.
Implementing these small changes over time can help improve your egg quality and your overall fertility.
To recap, 3 things you can do right now to boost egg quality is improving your mitochondrial function by supplementing with vitamins, prioritizing your sleep to make sure you're getting at least 8 hours a night, and cleaning up your environment, becoming more aware of endocrine disruptors.
Making these changes today, you'll start to see improvements in your egg quality in 2 to 4 months.
As we said before, there are lots of different ways to boost your egg quality, so if you're doing something particular, feel free to comment below. If you found this video useful, please be sure to like and subscribe.
We'll see you soon.